Hello and welcome back. As you can see, I'm in what seems to be my favorite location as of late. This video, I wanted to start talking about seeds, planting seeds. You might have heard this often in the New Age and spiritual community, people talking about planting seeds, and usually when they speak to planting or about planting seeds, it refers to speaking about things that we know deep down inside is what aligns with our inner being. You know, eating healthier, just stuff that you know and you recognize on the inner part of you that would be beneficial to you somehow. Getting out in nature more often, drinking more water, just that aspect of things, planting seeds. So when you speak about these things, when you speak about spirituality, love, in a sense, you're planting seeds for yourself and for anyone that is listening. So that idea might float around in their mind for a while, and it may drop for a while and sometimes come back. And each time the idea comes back, there is a potential for us to water that seed, to give it a little bit of care, to give it our attention. That's the water. To give it our attention. And the more attention you give something, the more it grows. The more of your awareness you shine on it, the more it grows. So your awareness becomes, your attention becomes like water and the sun. You nourish that idea that your soul recognizes as something that is right for you. You nourish that idea, that recognition within yourself, and others have that potential when they think of that thought. And that's really all it takes. A shining of your attention onto a specific idea, a seed, for it to grow. Have you ever heard the saying, out of sight, out of mind? So another way to allow or bring your attention to a certain thought, a certain idea, a seed you'd like to grow, is to surround yourself with reminders. Very simple. You could have a little chalkboard where you sit often and you could write a little something about a current seed that someone planted in your mind that you recognize you'd like to shine the light of your awareness as the sun comes more onto it. But this video is not going to be only about seeds. I may go off a little bit. I kind of wanted to just free flow here and allow some general topics along this line: spirituality, personal growth, setting seeds, watering them, little things that we might not be aware of, or something that we might need to hear again that could remind you, myself, oh yeah, it's time to focus on that again. And whatever that is, you know what it is, you know what I'm talking about, because it's your seed that you recognize as valuable. Whatever it is that you're focusing on in your life right now is really up to you. you have all the power, the control within you available, the potential to live the life that you want, whatever it is. And oftentimes we get lost in the measuring of your progress. How close am I? And you can then feel down on yourself if you're living in hope, if you're always looking towards the future. When you realize that anything you want in your life takes only your attention, and that you don't really need to do anything other than that, that when you recognize the value of something, and then you bring your attention to it, your body sometimes will just act on its own. You'll notice yourself following a certain line of actions, chain of actions and thoughts that will bring that into manifestation by simply becoming aware of the value of this for you and bringing your attention to it. So out of sight, out of mind, the opposite is true. The more you think about something, the more it becomes part of you. The only thing that works against us is the mind. The mind has this, and when I say the mind, I'm talking about the thoughts and then the emotions, and how the mind and emotions generate and feed each other, generate more of the same. So if your mind has this tendency to naturally go to the negative, it seems more alluring. And if you just let your mind go, kind of in a default pattern, you might notice you start thinking about negative things more often. You start feeding, you start watering those seeds. I'm not good enough. I'll never make it. I'm too tired right now. All the things that your mind will tell you and give you an excuse to not move in the direction that your soul is calling. So it's not that you have to do all these actions in order to reach your goals. It's more that you want to be aware of where it is that you want to go. Bring your awareness and shine it onto that aspect more often. If you notice that your mind says, I'll never make it, maybe you can correct that and say, I don't know if I'll make it or not. But right now I'm going to keep my attention on the task, in that direction. I'm going to learn to enjoy the little things as I go, so that I don't drown myself in a dream that becomes a nightmare. You can allow yourself to be more realistic, because nobody knows whether or not you're going to reach a goal. All you know is that if you put enough of your energy into something, most likely it will come true. Although you may reach many failures, in reality, each failure is a step on the ladder. You have an experience, such and such you've learned, and then you can move ahead and say, well, I don't do it like this anymore. Let's try this. And as long as you keep watering the seed, keeping your awareness, bringing your attention to the manifestation you wish to have within you, to have experience in the outer world, then you're going to make progress. Enough about seeds. Enough about goals. Enough about progress. I'd like to invite you now to just simply share with me a comfortable silence, a wordless expression of our beings. In my experience, nothing feels better to me than just letting myself be. This is here and now. Not a care, not a concern. Nothing needs to be changed here and now. Whatever sensations are fine. If I have an itch, that's fine. If I want to scratch that itch, that's fine. In meditation, oftentimes people have this idea that you're not supposed to do anything. Don't do anything. Just sit there. Don't move. If you have an itch, don't scratch it. If you have a thought, don't follow it. The whole practice of meditation itself is to have you learn and practice how to just be. Not even be who you are, because that's adding something unnecessary. You already are who you are. You don't have to be who you are. You can just be, and in being, you already are who you are. Because if you try to stop an itch, that's also trying to stop an itch. And that means you think itching a scratch or scratching an itch is wrong. Well, if you're just being and you find yourself scratching an itch, isn't that also just being? These sort of things, these sort of recognitions of the truth come to you on deeper and deeper layers the more you can connect with just who you are. The more you can see that every type of practice people giving you, including watering seeds, all of it is just to have you find yourself. And when you find yourself, what else is there? Then you can enjoy being. This video might have been a little all over the place, talking about meditation, seeds. But again, it's more about sharing my being, expressing my authenticity in hopes that you can give yourself permission to share your authenticity, not just with others, but even with yourself. So there it is. Wherever you are around the world, whatever time it is that you're watching this, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Peace.